Hi, this is the host of Bravo's Celebrity Poker Showdown and professional poker player, Phil Gordon. Thank you for joining me for my 2005 World Series of Poker podcast, brought to you by ExpertInsight.com. My new poker instructional DVD is available exclusively online at ExpertInsight.com. Get the DVD and get inside the mind of a pro. You only see my hole cards as I play at the final table, but you hear each and every thought I have while making winning decisions at No Limit Texas Hold'em. And now, from the Rio in Las Vegas, the 2005 World Series of Poker. Okay, we are back at the Rio in Las Vegas. Today is day 2, the final day of the $1,500 No Limit Hold'em shootout. There are 13 players remaining. Dario Shamani, Brett Youngblood, a World Series of Poker champion, Eric Lindgren, one of my best friends and one of the greatest players in the world. Keith Quilty, no idea. Anthony Redigui, Ted Lawson, Alan Goldstein, Kenny Robbins, Chris McCormick, Paul Crow, who was a little bit wild and crazy, Alan Gehring, who is the World Poker Tour champion from a couple years ago. He won over $1 million. Also finished second in the World Series of Poker a couple of years ago as well, and one of the greatest players in the world, Young Fan. We're all starting with 90,000 in chips. I'm not sure what the blinds are going to be to start, but with quite a few quality players in there, it's going to be a very tough day. But I'm feeling great. I actually got a little bit of sleep last night. I slept on Doyle Brunson's Super System. Couldn't help it. I had to keep that book under the pillow. Wasn't very comfortable with it there, but I'm hoping to absorb some of the knowledge. My mom's down. She came down. She lives about 30 minutes away and drove down to watch the final table. I really, really feel like this is going to be my day. So a lot of people coming up and congratulating me for making another money finish. We are 12 people to go before my first World Series of Poker bracelet. I'm going to be giving it my A game. I got a Starbucks. I've had lunch. We're 15 minutes from starting, and I can't wait to get to the table. Okay, we played 2 hours in the final table. I'm up to 120,000. I had some very, very tough hands during this set. The guy on my left keeps re-raising every time I try to steal the blinds. It's very frustrating. But average right now is about 97,000. I've got 120. I'm in great shape. I was down to about 60 at one point, but I battled back. I think I made one really bad play during the set. Had pocket sevens, and the board was 10-4-4, and I bet, and I got called, and I was pretty sure he was on an overpair, and the board turned to 7, and I bet too much, and he folded. I may not have gotten any more money out of him anyway, but yeah, that was a bad play. I can probably check there and hope that he's going to bet and check raise. Anyway, 12 people left. Eric Lindgren's been moved to the other table. I feel good. I'm above average. I've been playing a lot of pots here. And on the break, I asked Howard Lederer and Chris Ferguson for some advice. They said, look, you're way above average, so why don't you change gears and play super tight for this next level. Blinds are going to be up to 1 in 2,000. I've got 60 big blinds. I can basically take the level off, and maybe we'll get down to 10 players and redraw, and I can get that guy off my left. Very difficult to play against someone who always re-raises when you're trying to steal blinds. When that's not working, you have to make adjustments in your game. I'm going to make it right here. I'm going to tighten down for this next level and hope to get a redraw or survive this level intact with an average stack. All right, 12 people left. Back to the table. Still have 11 players at the end of that level. It was 8 and 1,600 there. Brett Youngblood went out in 12th place. He had ace-king of hearts against 2 aces. I've managed to play very tight and maintain my stack throughout this level. Haven't really gotten involved in any pots. Young Fan is a little bit short stacked at about 45,000. He's just about moved in on the last hand of this level. And the kid on my left is considering calling. Most of the chips are at the other table. I believe Eric Lindgren is now the chip leader. Really want one person to bust so that we can combine and play 10-handed. Still a lot of play in this tournament. I mean, the blinds are only going to be 1 in 2,000 at the next hand. Everyone's got at least 60 big blinds. The average right now is 55 big blinds. That's a lot of play. When we get down to 10-handed, the levels are going to be an hour and a half, even more play. So feeling very good about my chances now. Looking forward to combining at the full table and hoping not to go broke before then. All right, we've made it to the final table. There are 10 players left. I've got about 90,000. I feel completely fantastic about it. I'm totally free rolling now. On the last hand, before we came on break, I had pocket fours in the small blind. And a very, very tight player in early position, playing five-handed, raised it to 6,000. And I decided to call, try to flop a set, and the big blind moved all in for 160,000. And the initial raiser confirmed my suspicion and called in a shot with two aces. The other guy on my left turned up two sevens. I, of course, folded, and the flop came 4-7 queen. So the reason I'm free rolling is because if the guy on my left plays his hand like a normal human being and just calls the 4,000 trying to flop a set like most people would do, we're going to have set over set, and I'm going to have no chance of not going broke on the hand. So with 90,000 left, 85,000 left with 10 players, I feel great. We're at a 10-handed table now. Everything's looking good. Eric Lindgren's still in. Young Pham is still in. Paul Crow's still in. A couple of other good players, but it's going to be a big fight. We're on dinner break now for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to eat with my mom. All right, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. We have played 2 hours at the final table now. The blinds are going up to 2,000, 4,000. That is just about as card dead as I've ever been in my lifetime. The best hand I picked up for 2 hours was ace-deuce suited, and I lost to a very, very short stack, about 5,000 on that hand, to ace-jack. Man, it's just so frustrating to keep looking down and see 5-3 and queen-deuce and 7-5. I've anteed off about 30,000. I'm down to about 65,000. There are two shorter stacks at the table than I am. But we're heading back with $2,000 and $4,000 blinds and a $5,000 ante. I'm not going to be able to wait around. I'm going to have to gamble here or pick up some good cards. The good news is I've got a good read at all the players at the table right now, and if I do pick up some good hands, I'm going to get paid off. I'm one double up from being average, which is never a bad thing. But final table play is just about to resume. There are 9 players left. More details when they happen at the table. Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted. It's 11:30. We're still at the final table. We're down to 3 players. I only have 45,000 in chips left. Paul Crow has about 90,000, and the guy on my right has all the rest, over almost $1 million. I have been so card dead. I've never experienced anything like this in my lifetime. I've not picked up ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, any pocket pairs the entire tournament. The last round was a flurry of people getting knocked out. The guy on my right had pocket nines against pocket jacks and pocket kings, and he sucked out and knocked 2 people out in the same hand. And then he had king-queen versus ace-9 for Young Pham, and Young flopped an ace, flopped 2 pair aces and eights, and the guy runner to flush against him to knock him out. So just by playing tight, I've locked up 3rd place. Now I just have no choice but to gamble. I'm down almost to the felt. I get very few chips, but I do feel if I can double up twice and get to 160, I'm going to have a good chance to win. It's very exciting. I've locked up at least 75,000 in prize money, which is nothing to sneeze at. But second place is 150, and even though I don't really think about second, because of the chip stacks at the final table, I kind of have to take that into consideration. I've got such a long road to hoe to get even with the guy on my right that if I can somehow come in second place, that might be as good as I could do. But I do feel if I can get to 160,000 from this 40, that's only 2 double ups, I'm going to have a very good shot at winning the tournament. All right, game over. I finished in 3rd. First hand back, I had jack 8. I didn't even look. And the guy with all the chips bet 100,000, and I called. And I had about a 38% chance to win against his ace-6 offsuit. And unfortunately, I did not catch a jack or an 8. I finished in 3rd place. My prize money, $75,350. That is the worst run of cards I've ever had in my life, but I feel great about finishing 3rd. That is just about it. It looks like the guy's going to win. He's got Paul Crow heads up with about a 10-1 chip lead. Anyway, so I'm going to LA tomorrow. I have to do what we call voiceover for Celebrity Poker Showdown. I'll be in LA for the next 2 days, and then I'll be back at the World Series of Poker on Tuesday. Until then, thanks for tuning in to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed living and dying with every card. And Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday at the World Series of Poker. This is Phil Gordon. Talk to you guys on Tuesday. Cheers. Thanks for joining me for the 2005 World Series of Poker from Las Vegas. This podcast was brought to you by ExpertInsight.com, home of my poker instructional DVD. Get inside the mind of a pro at the final table at www.expertinsight.com. Tune in tomorrow for more stories, interviews, fun, and insight into the world of professional poker. For ExpertInsight.com, this is Phil Gordon from Las Vegas, Nevada.